Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidescope. In this part, we will learn how to create this crop yield data analysis, but the data that we are getting here is from JSON API, and that JSON API has authentication headers. So how can we connect that? You can see I have created this simple API for you guys. We have the header uh, value here and its secret key, so which I will give it to you, or you can copy from here. And then with the help of that we will connect the data in Power Query editor. If needed, we will do transformation, and then we will create this simple dashboard which will give us answers. Like here we are doing analysis of yield per acre. So that is yield per acre in tons by farming method. The conventional farming is giving more yield, or organic farming is giving corn, wheat, soybean, rice, whatever is giving more yield region wise. Then we will do a mix analysis where we will try to understand season wise and crop type wise yield. Then we will also see how can we add these images, etc. So we'll give some timing on designing. So you can try this at your end, and let's get started with this tutorial. So in our previous example, we discussed a JSON API that was fetching data from this URL. So we use three keys here, like the URL parameters had three values: orders, people, and return. Okay. So in these three values, when we were hitting them, we were getting data without any restriction. So let me see, let me check. You can see here we are getting people, here we are getting returns. But today I have this API where if I am hitting this URL, it's a crop production data which we are going to study today. So this particular API is not returning an answer here. Okay, this particular API, instead of returning an answer, is giving us the access denied message. Now if we go to the backend, so I have created this API using PHP. PHP is a server-side programming language, just like Python. And here, just for simplicity, this is our crop production data. You can see data is written inside a variable. How we do it in DAX language? We write where, we can write something like where data equal to, sorry, not date, where data equal to, or, and then suppose if we write some kind of array. So here you can see that data is written, and what we are doing is, with the help of this simple API, we are echoing, or we are printing this output as JSON. But we have applied one condition, and the condition is that if correct headers do not exist, then show error access denied. And since we are hitting this URL without any kind of headers, we are getting this method. We will open Power BI and we will see if Power BI can do this for us. So we open Power BI desktop, and in Power BI desktop, how can we connect data? You remember, we to connect something that is coming from web, we will click on web. Okay. In basic, what you do, you just put the URL, you click OK, and you try to connect the data, but there is advanced. Okay, today we are going to discuss this advanced. This is URL part. Okay, this is URL part. Now it is asking HTTP request header parameters. These are optional. So headers sent over HTTP are not encrypted or whatever. So what it is asking us is that what is your header name and what is your header key value you have to give us here. It is like a ID and password, right? So when you are dealing with a company, suppose I am some kind of data engineer who has prepared an API, although a very basic thing, and whatever logic I am applying, whether I am reading from SQL, whether I am reading from some other source, I will give you an answer in JSON form. When I am giving you that answer, so I am just using my secret API key here, which I will mention here as value. Okay, and I will provide these details to you guys. And what is my header key? Header key is this X API key. So I am just using something called header. This function sets some kind of header. Header is some detail that goes along with data, and you will just mention it here. In my case, I have used only one key and one value. Okay. In many cases, you will find that they have 4 or 5 credentials. Sometimes they'll have 2 credentials. Okay. So if you have 2, you can add ID password 2, ID password 3. I'm just giving you an answer, right? Just giving a suggestion. So you can add as many headers and their secret keys as you want here. And when you will hit enter now, so Power BI is trying to read, and you can see it says 4 days old because I connected this. Now I have refreshed it. If you will go to advanced editor now, you can see this is also reading JSON document. Just let read this line, okay? Important for us. So earlier also this MQA was reading data, but here yeah, it is saying let the source is JSON.document, which is reading web content from this URL, but it is providing headers as header key is X API key. This is like a variable, and its value is this. And once this is clear, then it is selecting all the columns. And now you will hit done, and this is our crop production data, agricultural data, where we have farm ID of all the agricultural farms that we have. So basically this data is collected from 50 different farms. It's a synthetic data. It's collected from 50 different farms, and it is saying, let's say some farms are there in east region, some farms are there in west region, and it is telling us what type of crop are they growing in those farms or in those agricultural fields, whether they are growing corn, soybean, wheat, whatever, or rice, and what is the region. Now this can be any country, right? So because I said it's a synthetic data, let's say it's India. Farming method, what type of farming method are they using? Are they using the conventional methods that we used to do earlier, or now the organic kheti or organic farming, whatever you call it? Then when we collected this data for this farm, what was the season, right? So season was winter at that time, and area cultivated in acres. Like what is the cultivation area? Like their farm will have some kind of area. And what is yield per acre in tons? That after they cultivated it for 59.05 acres, their yield per acre in tons is 4.29. This can be one of our target fields. We want to analyze what are the reasons or what are the different type of conditions or situations when the yield of a farm will be high, right? That's what farmers want. They want their yield to be high. They want the total production to be high. This is total production in tons and this is yield per acre. And obviously this will be proportional to the area cultivated and yield per acre product of it. And now they have also given fertilizer. In conventional methods, conventional type of fertilizers are there, organic method, organic type of fertilizers are there, but how much fertilizer did they use? Now, as I'm saying, this is just a synthetic data, but this will help us in preparing a template, a dashboard that can actually help us in finding out what to do to increase your yield. I have done one more analysis like this, which is very much similar to this. It has more features here because the purpose of this particular case is to make you understand that if you are getting a data from an API, how to connect that and why that. Because suppose all these farms have some kind of sensor installed there, okay? That sensor is sensing parameters like humidity, temperature, what is the average amount of sunlight received, what is this, what is that, different type of things, okay? And then it is sending that data live to a central server. And let's say we have 50 farms. So from our 50 farms, we must be getting data in some central server. So one thing is data analyst will connect all the servers one by one, and they will do analysis. One thing is the IT team or development team or engineering team, what they did, they created some kind of API, and because this data is not public, so you just hit that API and whatever tool you are using, whether it's Power BI, whether it's Tableau or whatever you are using, it will connect that data and give you the answer. So now this data is connected. We have called it as crop production. Check that all your columns are properly mapped with their data types. Like cultivated area 1.2, basically a decimal field. So all these fields are decimal. Season is categorical, farming method is categorical, farm ID is categorical. Now close and apply. Your model will be created, and now we will try to build the crop production data. Now we have simple thing that we insert, and we will add a text box here, and in that text box we will simply mention crop yield data analysis. And then this, by preparing your layout like this, you can add one image here. So let's select the image. So I will choose these two images, this one and this one. So first I'll choose this, and because we are doing crop yield, so I can either use it here or I can use it here, okay, wherever you prefer. And I can make a copy, so I can copy and paste and maybe probably put it here. It is just something that is extra, not needed, but it will give some kind of uniqueness to your data. Next, I also downloaded one more image from Canva, something like this, right? Why I did that? Like I will just put here. So I will just put here so that it will not consume too much of my space, and I will just copy and paste it here. It will look like some kind of crop is growing there. So although it is not necessary for you guys to do the same thing, but this type of creative elements can give more meaning to your graphs. So obviously this is a live class, so I'm not taking too much of your time. So you can do that, right? And whatever you are doing analysis, in analysis you can put it like that. And now, so suppose you are doing it for a company or an organization, so you can put their logo here. I'm doing it for my educational institute, I am just putting my logo over here. So this gives us some kind of brand identification or something. There is one more thing about themes I want to add. Right now you can see I have just gone with blue, blue, blue and something. You can see there is view. In view, because it's crop related data, so we can select something that is green, So let's try this one. So when you will select this, you can see it has automatically selected something that is close to these icons. So now we have the data. Now we will begin analysis, and in analysis what we do is first we explore the data, and now this will be regular step for you guys. So when we are exploring data, so we consider something as our target field. Let's say yield per acre is our target field. So before that we will prepare some APIs. So those KPIs will be prepared using what? Those KPIs will be prepared using a simple card, right? And what you do is, like some students were missing the point. If there are 4 KPIs, then we can divide this area in our head that okay, how much width will be needed for 4, and then I'll first we will prepare one of them and then we will actually copy, but this much width is okay for me. And what should we bring? What should be the first field? So let's say area cultivated. So this is sum of area cultivated, and we can write it as total area cultivated by all the farms that we have. And here in callout value, select some color from your theme like this. You can increase the font size, and in your category label you can select some other color, let's say this one, and make it bold. When I'm making it bold, it is not like it's increasing its width. So let me try, because we have enough area here. We'll go with this. Then to give it some kind of effect and shadow, I select like this. Question to you guys, how can I make the shape rounded corner? Can you guide me?
Yes, sir. You can take mid symbol. Yeah,
I can take what? General. Effect.
Yeah. And effect is visual border.
Visual border.
Yeah. Please explore this. Yeah. Please rotate corner. Increase the rounded corner.
Yeah. So I'll take around 14 pixels. You are right. And I will make the border as white. Okay. So like this is what I can do. Now this is first KPI, although it's not necessary, but just for designing point of view. Now once one of them is prepared, I can copy them. Second one will be fertilizers used or total production. So this is it is given as sum of total production. I will just rename it as total production in tons. Third is total area cultivated, which already is there, and this is our target field, that is yield per acre in tons. And finally this one is what amount of fertilizer is used. Okay, so we'll just write fertilizers used in kg. Next we will try to put some graphs over here. So those graphs will be things like, we will consider one categorical field, like on the basis of crop type, what is the yield per acre in tons. So we will select a simple stack column chart that we select mostly, and here we will try to create this chart. And actually I will just use half width here. Let's see. And here I will put on x-axis the crop type. Okay, and in crop type I will, then on y-axis, let's say in this part we are doing yield per acre analysis, or analysis of yield. In other example we will do analysis of uh, fertilizer. Okay, so here what we can do, after putting crop type on y-axis we will use yield per acre. So now it is saying that for corn it is highest, and you can see the heading is very small. So here if you will go in general setting, you will be able to see heading. Now we can use this font size, font color also, we can make it bold, we can align it to center, and here also in these charts also we can do the same effect. Enable shadow, visual border, we can use this color, 12 or 14 pixel, whatever is the preferred shape or size. Then I'll just copy it, and here instead of crop type I will select farming method. So because in farming method I can see only two values are given, so I will switch it back to a donut chart. In donut chart we are not able to see more data. So first of all, because legend is disabled. Now because our chart is more of, it has a more width, like we have this much area. So instead of legend position on top, we can select legend position on center left or center right. Next, how can we show more data here? Because I want to see percentage of yield per acre. How can I show more data? I want to see percentage and that value also. Shadar or Mohan, how can I do that?
You can go data enable.
Where? Detail label.
Yeah, data. This one details like.
Okay. Where you want? So
Yeah, this click.
where it label? No? Where it label? Values.
Values.
Think again. It is label contents. Okay. Category is given, where category means, yeah, category means whatever categorical field data we have there, right? Organic versus conventional. We are seeing that. Here we can show something like category and data value. See, if we are already showing something in legend, then that value is not needed here. Okay, so that's why we'll go with data value and percentage. Now all this data is very small, like we are not able to see that. So then we will go to values. So in values you will only find the styling. Okay, so now you can increase the size, You can choose some other color, and even for your legend also you can increase the title size or change the title, and you can also increase the text size like this. So this is something that we can do. Okay, so this is sum of yield per acre by farming method, and this is sum of yield per acre by crop type. Now we will copy any one of them and put it here, because one more important field that we have is region. So we want to do region wise analysis, and we want to understand which region has given us more yield per acre, in which region we have more or less yield per acre. So what we can do is we can simply remove farming method here and select region. Actually we can do this entire analysis by using just only one type of chart, but here we are just trying to demonstrate usage of different charts. So we can choose this and we can use this also, and you can see as per theme it is automatically picking up colors, and you can see in north region we have 27.27% yield. So everywhere it is close to 27, only in east region we have less. So then you can analyze what can be the reasons behind low yield, and if then it will be another interesting conversation, that is is this chart or is this percentage ratio same for all type of crops. So what we can do, we can add a slicer here, we can put a slicer. Now interesting thing, Shadat, if I want to show a slicer, let's say I am putting the crop type here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
This is it.
okay,
Yes.
so how can I change? Can first of all, can I change its color? It's not visible.
Yeah, you can take. You can go to middle.
You will call it
Slicer setting.
format. You will call it format
For
option.
format. Yeah.
Format
Go
option.
to go to go to slicer setting.
But in slicer setting, you will only get whether it's a vertical list or you will go to values. Okay. In values, let's choose this color, or let's go with some other color. Let's say this.
You can
Okay.
change the colors.
We can increase the size. We can make them bold if needed. If not, we can keep it like that. Then this is slicer header, which is showing crop type. We can select this, right? We can increase its size also. We can make it bold. One more thing is what I do is not
Yeah.
background, I go with visual border, and in visual border I select the same color as font, and then if needed, here I will just give 5 or 6 pixel as rounded corner, which will show little bit. So now I have that, because we have only 4 filters to apply here. So I will you know let me clear that, and I will show you some buttons also. So here now we will replace it with region. Okay, let me copy one more time. Here we will replace it with season. Like in monsoon, we will be able to understand whether we have more yield in monsoon or winter or summer. And here we will, what is left, farming method. Yes, we'll go with farming method. Okay, so that's why we use this area for our filters. So we are using this. We have kept all of them open because first of all in every field we have less amount of values, and I will see whether this one will look good, or what do you prefer?
What, sir?
Like, should we go with this style or only this? Let's keep it like that.
Before
So
before Stalin, it was very good. What
Okay, we'll see that. So now we have our filters, and let's say it is showing sum of yield per acre by region. If we select corn, so in corn actually you can see south. In rice you can see it is, so you can see one region is not there in rice. Okay, so that's why you will be able to understand, and that's why effect of every filter is important. If you want to analyze region wise, you can do it like that. Okay, so either you want to analyze crop wise, either you want to do region wise, and finally the basic chart. Let's create one more copy, and here we will have the farming. So we have farming method, crop type, season. So for season we will use, now for season I will use ribbon chart. Okay, but I will also include one more thing, like this one will not be single chart. Suppose someone asks you a combination of things. Obviously here it tells that in monsoon we have more yield. Factor can be that we have more rain or something like that. Country is not given here, so we are not judging by any country or its average temperature. And I already told you that for this data actually I have a better data set and detailed analysis. I will leave the link in description. Let me show you. So here on our channel you can see this one is smart agricultural analytics from sensors to harvest. Okay, so you can check out this, and we also have one more agricultural honey production, but this one has more information, so you can check out. I will leave link in description, or you can check out on my channel. So here we have the ribbon chart, and in ribbon chart, as I told you, you can actually pick two categories. Okay, so let's say one category is season, another category can be what type of crop do we have. So we can put a crop here, and now you will actually get a mixed data. For this chart I will prefer a clustered chart. Okay, that's okay for me. So now what is this crop, what is this showing? Can you explain what is this showing us? Any one of you? Yeah,
The soybean in monsoon season it eats
has the highest amount of yield, right?
highest amount, and later it reduce in the winter, and again in summer it again moderate cultivation.
Right, so you can pick any category and you can see what type of season is preferred for growing that type of crop, what type of region do we prefer, right? So everything that you have can be fetched from this single chart. So this is our crop yield analysis. Let me save this one. So this is our simple crop yield data analysis from JSON API. We applied an authentication header, and now you can see a very simple example, not very detailed from point of view of data analysis, but we were just trying to understand how to connect the data. Try that at your end and let us know if you have any questions.